knowledge engineering process. That means, so how our AI system will going to be developed, and then how to deploy the AI system. Okay, that is our next topic. So in this one, how to develop and then how to deploy means, here we are having different stages. So here the first stage is, first we need to identify the problem. Okay, that means for developing of AI system, first we need to define what is the purpose of that AI system. Okay, we have to know about the purpose of the AI system. So let us suppose take this example. Now I am going to develop one AI system that is helpful for doctors. Okay, that means medical AI. I am going to,
Uh,
yes, I'm going to develop medical AI. Okay, so that, so what is the purpose of medical AI is, so it should be diagnose the disease, and then it should be uh, give some suggestions for the disease, what is the treatment plan, like that. Okay, so that is our purpose. Okay, so first one we need to identify the problem. Okay, why we are going to develop the AI system. Okay, and then the next step is we have to acquire the knowledge. So once after we finalized the purpose, okay, we need to collect the whatever the knowledge we required for developing of that AI system, we need to acquire. Okay, let us suppose see this one. Now I'm going to develop AI system for the medical AI. Okay, so my purpose is it should be uh, give some diagnosis, means which disease the patient having based upon the symptoms. Okay, so for that one, what type of knowledge we want is, so we need what is the different types of symptoms is there. Okay, and then what is the different diseases, and then what is the different treatments available now. Okay, so everything the knowledge we have to gain. So and then the next thing is, once after we gained the knowledge, we have to represent the knowledge. Okay, so that means I think the meeting is going to be end. Once again I will log in. Okay, okay, see, so we need to represent the knowledge. So for representing the knowledge is nothing but, so here we need to store the knowledge. We are having different methods, right? So we have to represent knowledge by means of logical representation. Otherwise we have to represent by means of this semantic networks representation, otherwise frames representation. So production rules, so we have to represent the knowledge so in the different form. So first thing is we need to define the purpose, and then the next thing is we need to uh, gather the information, and then we need to represent the knowledge. And then once after we represent the knowledge, we need to design our inference engine, means so which inference engine we need to follow to get the things. Okay, let us suppose see this example. uh, Now we are developing the AI system. Okay, for developing the AI system, so first which type of inference we need to develop means, we need to develop the forward. Why? Because so here we need to give the symptoms, that means facts first. Okay, so based upon the facts we need to draw the conclusions. Okay, so for that one we need forward chaining inference. So like a way, depends upon our application, we need to design our inference engine. So sometimes we need to do take them backward chaining. Otherwise, sometimes we need to go for the unification. Sometimes we need to go for the this resolution. Okay. So our fourth step is we need to design our inference engine. And then the next thing is we need to implement the system. Okay, so we identified the purpose why we are going to develop the system, and then we gathered the data, and then we represented the knowledge. The next thing is we need to implement the system. Okay, that means that we need to build a AI system by using of different languages. Either you can use for Python, otherwise HTML, whatever the programming language you know. Okay, so why we need to, so in this step what we will do is, so we will first develop the database. Okay, so that means so we gather the data. So if you want to represent the knowledge, we need some database. Okay, so for that one, whether you can follow NoSQL, otherwise SQL. Okay, whatever the thing, so we need to develop that database system. And then at the same time we need to um, use, we need to develop the front end. Okay, it's a front end system, like we want to give the input set in the chat GPT. Okay, like we need to develop one user interface. Okay, so that is the next thing. And then the next thing is we need to test the system. Okay, so once after we implemented, that means we are developed the both backend as well as front end user interface. Okay, we need to test that system whether the system is working fine or not. Okay, that one we need to evaluate. So how we will evaluate means, so we will take the real time facts, okay, and then we will check whether the expected output and then the coming output is same or not. So if it is both the same expected and then coming out means actual output, so we are thinking that we will think that that system is working fine. Okay, so if it is working fine, we will go for the deploying. Otherwise what we will do is we will refine the rules. Otherwise we will refine the process, front end, back end, everything we will refine. Okay, so once after we refined the process, again we will take the feedback from the experts and then we will deploy the system. Okay, so here deploying the system is nothing but here we will make the system that whatever the developing AI system we will launch for the end users. Okay, so that is the working process from uh, development stage to deployment stage. Okay, so what is that one? First we need to identify the problem. Okay, why we are going to develop the system, and then so based upon the problem statement, so we need to acquire the knowledge. Okay, and then once after we acquire the knowledge, we need to represent that knowledge. Okay, so once after representing the knowledge, we need to identify which inference we need to follow. Okay, and then once after we finalize these things means purpose and then problem, sorry, knowledge acquiring, knowledge representation, and then this inference engine, we need to implement the system both back end as well as front end. Okay, so once after we developed the system, we need to do the testing. Okay, so we need to compare expected output as well as actual output. If it is working fine, we will go for the deployment. If it is not working fine, we will refine the rules. Okay, and then again we will test and then again we will deploy the system. Okay, deployment is nothing but we will make the system to available to the end users. So in that one we need to give training to the users also. Okay, that is the knowledge engineering process.